Before we dive in, let me ask you this. What happens when reality TV stops being entertainment and starts exposing the ugly truths behind the scenes? When production edits, old grudges, and clout-chasing interviews collide, you don't just get drama, you get the kind of chaos that makes people question everything they thought they knew. This is exactly where we are right now. One video dropped, one reaction followed, and suddenly, the cracks in the storylines everyone thought were polished and final are starting to show. Now, stay with me, because the clip you're about to see sets the tone for everything that follows. It's raw, it's emotional, and it makes one thing clear. Not everybody is willing to just move forward.
What the fuck you mean move forward, man? You want me to just get out of jail like these pussy and just go forward and don't speak on shit? Just go forward and live my life. Just woo-de-doo. Yeah, I got blessed. They let me out of jail. Woo-de-doo, woo-de-woo. I can't. I don't know, man.
2 years for to be healing, but you end up talking
How
shit.
the fuck I'm a heal in the midst of the fire? How I'm a heal in fire?
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's not just frustration you're hearing. That's someone refusing to let the narrative get rewritten without a fight. And honestly, it raises the question, why now? Why bring this all back up weeks later when everyone else seemed ready to move on? See, this is where things start to get interesting. Because when you look past the emotion, what you really see is someone trying to reclaim control of the story. Maybe it's about unfinished business. Maybe it's about engagement and attention. Or maybe it's about exposing contradictions that never added up in the first place. Stay with me, because the next part doesn't just call people out, it puts them on the spot with direct questions that can't be ignored. And once those questions hit the table, the entire timeline of events starts to look very different.
Hey 18 Dreads, oh sorry, I mean Taylor. Hey Taylor, so I saw this video you posted a few hours ago.
What the fuck you mean move forward, man?
So I have a few questions for you. Like, one question I have is, so why are you making this video now? I mean, like, Ace's podcast interview came out, think about it, I think the 27th, August 27th. It's currently September 15th, if you didn't know the date, I'm just curious, why wait 2 weeks to make that video? Is engagement down? Is this just to, gain attention? No shame, no shame in your game. This is social media, I'm just curious. If you could, whenever you get the chance, if you could answer that, I would appreciate it. Okay, so my other question, right? So you said in your video, the one I just played a moment ago, you said in your interview that you believe that Ace's, questions and everything and answers were, 99.9% accurate, right? So which means that you pretty much ultimately agree with everything he said. And if that's the case, are you admitting that you're a liar? You're curious about what I mean by that? I don't mind explaining. I don't know if you remember your own words, but in 2 of the podcast interviews that you did with Nic, you specifically stated that you did like Olandria, you were trying to build up that connection with her, you ended up building that connection with her, but when Clark came around, you pretty much just had a better connection with Clark. That's what you said, right? But what Ace is saying is that the connection or you exploring with Olandria was pretty much forced by production. Now, he didn't explicitly actually say that because he can't, NDAs and shit. We understand. But, we're really smart. We're able to read between the lines. So we're just curious. Are you going to be able to admit that you're a liar? That's my second question. Are you going to be able to admit that you lied to us, to the audience, that you lied to the podcasters, that you lied to Nic, that you lied to pretty much everyone around you? Until, I guess, Ace was the bigger person to be able to admit that production had a hand of you exploring with Olandria and why you kept on exploring with Olandria until you literally didn't have to anymore. And then if that's the case, this is my third question. If you agree with what Ace said about being forced to explore with Olandria, if you agree with that part, because remember, you said it was a 99.9 accuracy that you agreed with him on. If that's the case, then why, after Casa Mar, did you continue to tell Olandria that you were still wanting to explore things with her? I'm just curious. I'm truly curious if you're able to answer that. One could say, the show's over and everything, but you brought this upon yourself, babes. You brought this upon yourself. You made this video. We were all moving on until you made this fuck ass video. So now I have a question. If you can answer those 3 in that order, I would very much appreciate it. Thank you.
They did was bullying. You are sensitive. Okay, I'm sorry. You sensitive. We got raised up in a black household, but a strictly black household. okay? And we're not sensitive. We take shit to the chin and say how it is, okay? And if you don't like it, that's just how we was raised up, you know? So if you think they sensitive, I'm sorry. I mean, if you think let me rephrase that. If you think there are bullies, I'm sorry. If they're not bullies, your ass is sensitive, okay? Move on. Shit, 2025, goddammit.
Do you feel like the narrative that was painted around you and Shelly specifically was the way it was because of your racial identity? Do you feel like because you're a black man?
Speedy, that was a good answer, Speedy. Good answer. I mean, good question, Speedy. I don't know why I said answer. Delusional right now. Good question, Speedy. Good question.
They're black women. The edits that you guys got was different than your counterparts that are not black.
Whoa. Okay, now that played out, there's a lot to unpack. For one, the timing of all this feels a little too convenient. Like, if Ace's interview surfaced weeks ago, why are we just now rehashing all these questions? It feels like someone's trying to muddy the waters, deflect attention, maybe shift blame. Here's another thing. When he says the exploring with Olandria was forced by production, that opens up questions about consent, authenticity, and truth in reality TV. Are we watching people being pushed into narratives for the show's sake? Or are we watching real feelings show up despite that pressure? Because there's a difference, and it matters. Also, the phrase, "you're a liar," being thrown around. That's loaded. It's not just about someone being dishonest, it's about credibility, integrity, and trust with the audience. If people believe you've messed with the story once, it gets harder to believe you when you say anything authentic. Here's what I think. The whole situation underscores something far bigger than one love triangle or one podcast tiff. It's part of a larger pattern in reality TV and social media, where narrative control, editing, and production influence blur the lines between what's real and what's performative. I looked into similar cases. There are plenty. Producers shaping story arcs, encouraging certain interactions, sometimes even withholding context. Fans are becoming more aware of this, and that's changing expectations. We're less willing to accept that what we see is the full picture. What strikes me is how resilient people become, like Nic and Alandria, despite all of that pressure, despite accusations, despite the doubt. What shines through is consistency. The way they present themselves on camera, the interactions that feel genuine, the moments unforced, those tend to hold up under scrutiny. Also, on the race editing angle, yes, there's historical precedent for how darker skin, assertiveness in black people, especially black women, is treated differently in media. It's not just about them, it's about how culture has already built expectations that favor certain skin tones, certain behaviors, certain types of femininity and masculinity. I found articles and commentary on how beauty standards are still steeped in colorism in media and reality TV. It's real, and it adds a layer of complexity to the criticisms. To me, this isn't about choosing sides or assuming anyone's lying. It's about recognizing the power dynamics in storytelling. Influence is huge, and when producers or interviewers get involved, the lines of authentic versus manufactured moments blur. I believe people deserve clarity and accountability, not just for entertainment, but for respect. So I'd ask you, how much do you trust what you see on reality TV when these behind-the-scenes influences are so strong? Do you think there's a way for these shows to be more transparent so that the love stories we cheer for are both entertaining and honest? So here we are. After all the interviews, the accusations, the videos, and the timestamps that just won't stop coming, one thing is clear. This drama says more about the system than just the individuals caught in it. Reality TV thrives on blurred lines. Producers push buttons, cast members scramble to control the story, and fans, we're left piecing together what's real and what's performance. But when the noise settles, authenticity always wins. Nic and Olandria are proof of that. Despite the doubt, the side comments, the interviews throwing shade, their connection hasn't just survived, it's grown stronger. That doesn't happen if it's fake. That doesn't happen if it's just a storyline. And that's exactly why people keep watching and why others keep trying to tear it down. Because when a love story breaks stereotypes and flips the old beauty and value standards upside down, it threatens the system that built those standards in the first place. And whether people admit it or not, that's uncomfortable to watch. So here's the truth. Don't let someone else's narrative shape your opinion. Watch how people show up consistently over time. Look at the actions, not just the words. That's where the real story lives. If you've made it this far, you're not just here for the drama, you're here to see the truth unfold. So do me a favor, hit subscribe right now, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this video with someone who needs to see how deep this story really goes. Because this isn't just about one interview or one viral clip. It's about the bigger picture of how love, race, media, and authenticity collide in today's culture. And trust me, the story isn't finished. Stay with me, because in the next video, we're diving into the one moment everyone overlooked. The clip that might just flip this whole conversation upside down. You don't want to miss it.